What it is, what it do, and how the hell are all of you with yours truly, Petra. I'll back with another, but I love you. You already know the deal. Grab your smoke, grab your drink, and lock in with your boy, because we back with another one. Now, this is going to be a quick one, real quick off the cusp. I got two videos, two different people. Videos ain't but not even 25 seconds long. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't, right? But have you ever met a person that didn't like being called girl or boy? You ever met a person, specifically a white person, that didn't like to be called white boy? You ever met a fat person that didn't like to be called a fat boy? Fat girl? Now, see, I never called a girl fat. I'll be honest. I never called a girl fat girl. But when I was in school and I was on the pudgier side of life, I had a couple friends that called me fat boy. Never once did it hurt my feelings. Never once was I sensitive to it. But that may be the generation I grew up in. Now, I'm not saying that you grew up in a sensitive generation. But I'm not saying you didn't either. And if any of those things offended you, again, I'm going to assume that you're the problem in this situation, and I'm just going to go back to doing what I was doing. You probably won't, because you're probably going to get mad. But that's okay. Because fuck you. Just simple. Now, let's jump into this. Now, this obese lady does not like to be called girl. She has made a series of videos after someone called her girl, and she went into this whole tirade about how back in the day, slaves were called hey boy, hey girl, and she is not accepting that. No way, no how. That is not her name, and she is not accepting it, and you need to stop doing it because you're dis-fucking-respectful. The only thing disrespectful about Mrs. Puff here is the fact that she is like 30-some years old, 40-some years old, with no goddamn dentures or teeth. Put your fucking teeth in, or do not speak to me, because the spit coming out of your mouth is, I can't even think of the teacher's name in a lot of these cartoons and shit that got lisps and shit, just be spitting when they talk. But clearly, she be spitting. Like I said, Mrs. Puff needs to dial it back. You know what I mean? She needs to chuck some of these hey girls their motherfucking license. You know what I'm saying? Let's let it rock.
First things first, don't call me girl. I'm a grown-ass woman.
First things first, look at this face. Bet you I get you a double cheeseburger, you smile. You know what I mean? Look at how you got one piercing, this piercing, ain't got the tongue pierced, but you ain't got no motherfucking teeth. And why y'all get so many ring lights and shit and end up with all this shine on your face right here? I'm clowning for fun. I don't give a fuck. Like, this ridiculous. You want to look like this, sound like this, and have an attitude? Shut the fuck up, man. You supposed to be nice. You supposed to be jolly. I thought big people were supposed to be jolly and shit. Now, if that's offensive to you, you definitely on the wrong motherfucking page. You on the wrong channel. You in the wrong subsection of whatever the part of the internet you done stumbled the fuck across. But I like that you gave me the view. So if you could hit the subscribe button and holla at your boy. I mean, if you want to argue with me in the comments, I got you. I will happily argue with you. But you got to hit that subscribe button. Because if you don't, I can't give you the time of day. That's the rule. You want to argue with me, you got to subscribe to me. Then you can unsubscribe after I beat you down in the argument. But you got to hit it first. You want to shut the champ, you got to at least press the button to get the champ's attention. You know what I mean? And what makes me laugh the most is, in my last 10 years of life, I've seen half the people I've met have their tongue pierced. Quarter of those people don't have teeth. How did you lose your teeth? Now, I understand if you got...
I keep my mouth shut. I got so few teeth in my mouth.
See? And see, the one thing is, I know a lot of these people, drug use, domestic abuse, all these extra things, right? I get it.
Mine came from drug use. I thought you were talking...
And it says here in the comment that hold on, let's listen to what she says about the tongue piercing.
I have a name. It's Fire Red. The second,
I just noticed she got a mustache. She got a little ass mustache. She got a PP mustache. Pee-wee or whatever it's called. Pee-wee is what it's called. You got peach fuzz. I bet you got a little couple beard hairs down here too. I bet you got a funky looking neck. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The mustache caught me off guard. I bet that bitch feels like a peach. She calls herself Fire Red. She should call herself Fuzzy Red. And the face right here, I'm sorry, I love pausing the video, man. This face right here just look ugly. Ugly, man. God don't like sin, and he don't like this. I mean, he created it, but he must not like it. He must have answered the phone when he was working on her, you know what I mean? He must have ordered a pizza or something, because she big. Now, I'm probably going to get this video strike down, but if y'all get a chance to listen to it, and it doesn't offend you horribly, please know I did this shit out the kindness of my heart. Not really. But I just did it for y'all. I'm just saying. It can't always be political. Sometimes you got to crack jokes. And sometimes you got to bring people that are on their own made-up pedestals, like Fire Red here. You got to knock them back down a peg and understand that they need to be humbled. Because, again, you got people out there looking like Channing Tatum, acting like assholes and fuckboys, not getting what they want. You cannot be looking like and have an attitude like and then not have teeth like and then have more piercings than a teenage girl and stretch marks all over like and then want to talk your shit. It just don't work. And it's 2021. I'll call you whatever I want, because I can be whatever I want. My pronouns are Pichu and Machop. So if you want to say, hey girl, I might answer. It's 2021, motherfucker. And on this note, we moving on to the next one. Now there is no need for music right here. This is Lucky Chucky off of TikTok. Homie's ex-felon doing shit for felons, this, that, the other. But he got a real problem with being called white boy, like a real problem. And as a cat that was born in the 90s, and he's talking about dudes fighting in the 90s because someone called him white boy, that shit never happened. How do I know that? I grew up in the 90s. I grew up in inner city in the 90s. Now, he might have been fighting motherfuckers for calling him white boy. His homies might have been fighting people for calling him white boy. And he comes from Chicago, so he comes from a different way of life. And he comes from the inner city of Chicago, different way of life. Gang territory, this, that, the other. You all see what's happening in Chicago right now with Chirac, rah, rah, rah. Y'all see it? It's everyday life. It's been that way for the last 40 years. Just gradually gotten worse. But when I see people that have that outlook of white boy, don't call me white boy. Oh, I ain't white boy. I ain't white boy. I ain't rah, rah. Don't call me girl. Don't call me boy. Like, you understand that, like, there's a lot of cats out here. A lot of cats that do not being called fat boy, white boy, fuck boy, soy boy, beta boy. You got dudes out here embracing that shit. I mean, namely Antifa members and Black Lives Matter members are okay with being called the last three: beta, soy, and fuck. Because you ain't gonna be calling them like white boy or fuck boy, you know, or white boy or fat boy, because most of them are now malnourished as fuck. Ain't got a bone, ain't got no fat on their bone, or they got so much fat on their bone that you can't see the bone. Like their elbow, you know, when you see a really big person, they got an elbow, and there's like 5 or 6 rolls. They that big. Or when you see a real big person, and they got like 3 cankles and 4 chins, that's them motherfuckers. Y'all don't look normal. That's the point here. Now, when I see people with Lucky Chucky been going on this white boy shit for the last month, 2 months at least, that I've seen, probably been on it longer. There's been a lot of people that have reacted back to they don't mind being called white boy, rah, 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 rah. There's been people from Chicago that are white that don't mind being called white boy, that are in the same kind of life that he was involved in, don't mind. So, the consensus would be most white dudes don't give a fuck if you call him white boy, don't give a fuck what you call him. He does because he's sensitive to it. That's what it comes to. You sensitive, bro. You want to talk about you throw them hands and you get in that gym and you punch that bag and rah, rah. I'm a G. I'm a gangster, man. I tell you the top 10 gangster cities in the country. I make fun of California. I wipe front to back. Mind you, he's had multiple videos about him wiping his ass front to back, California problems, all this shit. Rah, rah, rah. He's like, I even got a letter from the city that said I help felons. I don't give a fuck what you do. And I'm sorry, if Lori Lightfoot had anything to do with that paper, it means shit. I'm sorry, but the elected officials in Chicago's writing out any papers about anybody saving anybody, they got balls. Because until the gun violence stops, no one should be preaching about saving a fucking thing. And I get, oh, put the dukes up, put the guns down. That's not what these young cats was taught. That's not what these young cats understand. And these young cats aren't wanting to catch an ass beating. Do you know why they don't? Give it a second. Most people don't like to feel pain. So when they get their ass beat, they don't like it. So it's easier to shoot you with a 45 from 15 feet so I don't have to get punched in the eye. Now, I'll get in it. I don't give a fuck. Win, lose, or draw. I don't give a shit. But I'm also a different breed. And for all those that, you know, that motherfucker shouldn't procreate, I already did it. So, again, if you don't like that, you go fuck yourself. My kid will probably beat your kid up and charge him $35 a gram. But that's not here or there. Point of it is if you get mad at being called white boy, fuck boy, fat boy, and you get mad at someone calling you a name, you're fucking sensitive. Only names any guy should get mad at for being called as a pussy or a bitch. And if you're willing to be called those things, you're probably the problem. Again, a lot of this is going to be looking in your inner self. And a lot of people might find out that they're the fucking problem. And if you laugh at this shit, you're going to be like, I'm not the problem. I'm not sensitive like that. Because you're not. I mean, clearly you get mad at someone saying, hey girl, hey boy. I mean, Ryan Upchurch released a song with a girl that tried to say he sexually assaulted her for touching her titty, called Hey Boy, Hey Girl. Biggest song she ever made. Look her up. What's her name? Katie Noel. Fucking insane. Insane little fucking story. Ryan Upchurch has a crazy fucking life. I definitely recommend looking into that motherfucker. He's insane. And then Lucky Shucky, since we're on it, said that he was going to fight Adam Calhoun, who is Ryan Upchurch's homeboy. They've also done tons of music together. Check that shit out if you haven't. They were going to, I think, fighting on like December 14th or something. I don't know if the fight's still going to go on. But if it does, Lucky Chucky, I already going to say this, I think Adam Calhoun's going to stomp that ass. And Adam Calhoun is also from Chicago and doesn't mind being called White Boy. He actually has a song called Crazy White Boy out there. So I recommend you check it the fuck out. And on those notes, you already know what the fuck it is. Stay blazed, stay blessed, stay safe. Peace.